PODBAST, podcast Balai Arsip Statis dan Tsunami.
Welcome to Balai Arsip Statis dan Tsunami.
Thank you.
National Archive of Indonesia, Pak Daya dan juga Profesor Vitor. Thank you for visiting us. We would like to know your what to visit in Aceh. What will you do in Aceh? Like maybe some research or something. Jadi kita mulai dari Pak Daya dulu, silakan.
Thank you for your question. So, I'm coming to Aceh because I want to know what's happening in Aceh today, and we have a vision. We want to conduct a research on Luso-Acehnese partnership because during 1588 until 1604, Sultan Alauddin had an agreement, peace agreement with Captain of Malacca. So they agreed some peace treaty, and Portugis monopolized Acehnese trade. In return, the Acehnese got protection during the difficult situation. However, after Perkasa Alam, Sultan Iskandar Muda rise up in early 17th century. They freed all merchants to come, including the Dutch. So that's why the Portuguese angry, then invaded Aceh. That's why the Luso-Acehnese partnership broke down in early 17th century.
Yeah. But you can answer my question in bahasa.
Oh yeah.
Okay. Mr. Professor Peter,
tidak apa-apa.
Interview. We would like to know. This is your first time in Aceh.
Yeah.
What will you do in Aceh for like 2 days visit, right?
Yes.
3 days visit. What will you do in 3 days?
Well, it's my first time. I'm very proud to be here. I'm very glad. Since I was a young student, of course I read about the Portuguese connections in Southeast Asia, and Banda Aceh was a very important platform, whereas the Portuguese began to have a knowledge about the region. We conquered Malacca in 1511, but we had to control the straits, and Banda Aceh was a very important and pivotal platform to dominate the Indian Ocean. We didn't reach this goal, but we suffered. The rivalries we suffer with the threat of Aceh during the 16th century. I'm here because since I was a young student, as I said, I was really interested to know the northernmost spot of the archipelago of Indonesia, what nowadays is Indonesia, of the island of Sumatra, the mouth of the straits, and to know the spot. It's very important to be not only read, not only study, not only be in the archives, in the libraries, in the studying and writing papers. We have to focus our attention knowing the places, knowing the geography, the peoples, the religion, the traditions, and it was why I tried to come here. And Professor Daya Vijaya was very great man to help this wish, this desire, and here I am. So the tsunami of 2004, of course, it's a important date, which was important to, I wish, come to Aceh to know what was happened, the geography again, to know the spot who suffered more with this disaster.
Pak Daya, ada kolaborasi dengan Profesor Victor, mungkin memang ada proyek khusus seperti itu, karena di sini saya juga melihat Bapak juga memang sedang meneliti ya. Maksudnya untuk yang judul penelitian ini sangat menarik dan memang ini Aceh banget gitu. Ekonomi politik Aceh abad 16 hingga 17. Itu seperti apa sih?
Sebenarnya kolaborasi saya dan Pak Victor itu dimulai ketika kita bergabung dalam proyek Ratu Kali Nyamat. Jadi kita bergabung dengan tim dari Yayasan Bakti Lestari untuk mempromosikan, mengusulkan Ratu Kali Nyamat dari Jepara itu sebagai pahlawan nasional. Jadi kita membantu tim untuk mengumpulkan dan menginterpretasikan sumber-sumber Portugis yang berada di Portugal, dan ada di beberapa dokumen seperti Dokumenta Malukensia dan Dokumenta Indica itu ada di Vatikan. Jadi kita berusaha untuk mensupport tim untuk mengidentifikasi, menerjemahkan dan menginterpretasikan sumber Portugis yang kita temukan. Tetapi itu berjalan sejak tahun 2020 dan mungkin tahun ini kita berusaha untuk mengkaji hal yang berbeda. Jadi kita ingin untuk menelisik dan mencari tahu tentang Aceh, karena bagaimanapun di abad 16 rival utama Portugis di Malaka adalah Aceh. Dan sejauh yang saya tahu historiografi Indonesia terkait Aceh itu selalu berpijak pada sumber Belanda dan juga sumber lokal, tetapi mengabaikan sumber Portugis. Padahal sumber sejarah yang diproduksi oleh orang Portugis itu banyak sekali menyebut tentang Aceh, sekaligus mengamini fakta bahwa Aceh pada waktu itu menjadi bandar atau titik yang sangat penting dalam percaturan geopolitik global, bukan hanya nasional tapi juga global. Karena faktanya di pertengahan abad 16 Aceh memiliki koneksi dengan Turki Utsmani. Itu dapat kita lihat dari berbagai sumber lokal, misalnya Bustanus Saladin mengungkapkan hal itu, sumber Portugis melihat hal itu, bahwa orang Aceh bekerjasama dengan Turku, bekerjasama dengan orang Turki. Jadi hal itu yang ingin kami ungkap, bahwa membahas Aceh sama halnya seperti membahas sejarah global.
So we curious about the popularity Aceh in Portugal. How seperti apa gitu dikenal Aceh di Portugis? The popularity Aceh.
Aceh for the Portuguese, well, some scholars, some academic people, of course they know. They don't know very much because in Portugal the historiography concerning the overseas expansion of Portugal, it's not so considered than the history of the Portugal in Europe, and we are changing the image of how we study the history of the Portuguese overseas empire. We are trying, well, my generation and the youngest students to get an approach, focus on the eyes, on the perspective of the peoples from here, not only from the Portuguese European perspective, but also and more with your perspective, to know the place. It's why I'm here, for example, to know how you see or how you saw the Portuguese in the past. Aceh is a little bit known by some Portuguese who remember the tsunami, the image of the mosque and the almost intact, and the wall of the bridge, and the 170,000 people, well, unfortunately wounded, dead and disappeared. The image, it was more concerning the tsunami. Well, and the Portuguese, many of them, perhaps they don't distinguish Sumatra, the 70,000 islands of Indonesia. but the image comes from the tsunami mainly and someone from the history. We are trying, so I'm sorry, it's one of the other reasons to come here to discover or to see in the real time in the place the Portuguese of Lamno, the descendants of, well, perhaps of the Portuguese of Lamno, and some people, they say that they have more communities, fishermen and in the mountains, with Portuguese descendants, the blue eyes people and the blonde the children with some characteristics, anatomic characteristics of the Portuguese.
So you can't wait to meet them, right? You meet two people in Lamno.
Yeah, I want one of these days, parallelly with my project of the Queen of Jepara and my works with Professor Daya Vijaya in Malanga, my cooperation, it's one of my scope. It's study these Portuguese communities in Indonesia, not only here in the northernmost area of Sumatra, but in other islands, Sulawesi, for example, Nusa Tenggara, Maluku, and elsewhere, because there are more Portuguese descendants, Topazes, and so. But this one in Lamno, they really attract me to know.
Yeah, we also want to meet them.
Yeah.
Actually, karena kita belum pernah ketemu, Pak.
Iya.
Iya, karena kita belum pernah ketemu juga mereka nih, teman-teman yang bermata biru tadi, karena di Lamno ya. Dia agak jauh pesisir, jauh dari sini. It's far away from Banda Aceh. We will spend like berapa jam sama? 2 hours. Yeah, 3 hours to reach the destination. Terakhir nih Pak Dana, karena sudah berkunjung ke, kan sebelum itu saya juga pengen bertanya mengenai, tadi kan juga mau mengungkap ya, maksud hubungan antara Portugis dan juga Aceh gitu kan. Nah sekarang ini kita ada di Lembaga Kearsipan Arsip Nasional Republik Indonesia. Mungkin Bapak juga sebagai peneliti itu melihat banyak sekali nih dokumen-dokumen arsip-arsip yang menceritakan soal hubungan antara Aceh dan juga Portugis. Itu sebanyak apa sih dokumen itu? Karena ternyata tadi seperti kata Profesor Victor, itu banyak orang yang nggak tahu nih, apalagi orang-orang Portugisnya, Pak.
Kalau misalnya ditanya sumber terkait relasi antara Aceh dan juga Portugis, itu banyak sekali. Tetapi semuanya berbahasa Portugis permasalahannya. Karena abad 16 praktis sumber lokal itu hanya, setahu saya hanya Bustanusa Latin. Itu pun ditulis, saya nggak yakin di abad 16, tapi di abad 17 ketika Sultan Iskandar Thani mengutus Nuruddin Araniri untuk menuliskannya. Praktis sebelum itu kita hanya bisa berlandaskan pada arsip dan juga kronik-kronik dari Portugis. Kalau misalnya di data, di list gitu Mbak, banyak sekali sebenarnya. Nah itu yang menjadi PR dari kita semuanya, termasuk arsip nasional kita, berencana juga ingin untuk bekerja sama dengan Arsip Nasional Portugal atau Arquivo Nasional Toyo Tombu di Lisboa, bagaimana agar bisa mendigitalisasikan arsip-arsip yang berhubungan dengan Indonesia dan bisa diakses di Jakarta. Jadi itu usaha kita bersama, semoga bisa terwujud, karena kalau bisa dilakukan itu menghemat biaya, Pak. Kita nggak perlu jauh-jauh ke Portugal, kita hanya belajar bahasanya, kita bisa mengakses informasinya. Itu banyak sekali informasi yang dapat kita dapatkan.
Berarti sama juga seperti di Arsip Nasional Portugal juga banyak arsip-arsip tadi itu ya Pak, soal hubungan Aceh dan juga Portugis ya?
Iya, sebenarnya bukan hanya Aceh tapi semuanya. Tapi untuk porsi yang ke Indonesia itu yang paling banyak itu adalah pertama Aceh, karena rival utama dari Malaka, kemudian sama Maluku, itu yang paling banyak.
Yeah. Okay, what your impression about Aceh after you know the history between Portugis and Aceh?
My impression about...
Yeah, what do you think about Aceh?
Well, I will begin my discovery of Aceh. What I know from the books, from the studies about Aceh. Well, history, it's history. We will not rewrite the history, of course. We are very good friends. I love your country, your people. Yes, indeed. But really, we have a long story that we have to clarify and to turn to show up better and better to the youngest generations, because we have to give a legacy to the future that we know really what was happened. We have to nowadays, in order to strengthen our relations between our countries, for example, at the same time we have to help and to give our expertise to Indonesia, to know, to realize the goal, to know the memories, to know the impressions of the people of the highlands, of the history of Indonesia, side by the other countries like Portuguese. It's not a neo-revisionist history, of course not, it's not this, but we just want to, in focusing, for example, in Aceh, show that Aceh had a very important role in the wall of the relations between Portugal and the highlands of Indonesia. We were the spice invaders. Yes, we fight against Hashem. We have alliances. We fight alliances of Aceh and the Queen of Jepara and the sultanates, the Muslim sultanates in Southeast Asia against the Portuguese. We just have to. The history is not black and white. It's not the good and the evil. Of course not. We only want to really using the studies already done, Professor Jorge Flores, Professor Daya Vijaya, focusing in other spots in Southeast Asia, to give a new perspective, to build a history, to write papers, books, and to show the importance of this spot in north of Sumatra. And Aceh, it's very interesting because Aceh is closer than Ceylon, Sri Lanka, or India than other areas of Indonesia. We are closest the center of the former Portuguese empire in Goa. It's incredible because Aceh was the gateway to the spreading of the Islam at the same time. Aceh was a geostrategically develops a position connecting west and east, like Professor Daya Vijaya said, at the same time the Queen of Jepara, but also Aceh was the key to the Ottoman Empire from the powers, the Islamic powers, but not only these Islamic powers. All the realms, all the traders in the Indian Ocean, they use Aceh to enter in the spicy world of the archipelago. So Aceh, we have to know more and more and more. I have to thank to the National Archives of Indonesia to be here, to Dr. Imam. Really, I have to thank this opportunity to be in a great place, in a beautiful city, to begin my discoveries and to confirm the importance of Aceh. And wonderful history of Indonesia. I fell in love by Indonesia. I'm really talking about, yes, and Aceh has a part in this love by your country and your history. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you for loving us. And it's also our pleasure to welcome you, Professor.
Thank you.
Thank you. Oke, the last pertanyaan terakhir nih, Jaya sudah keliling-keliling di BAST ya. Apa sih kesannya setelah melihat tadi profil kita dan mendengar seperti apa kegiatan dan juga tugas fungsi dari BAST sendiri yang merupakan UPT dari Arsip Nasional seperti apa, Pak?
Saya jujur saja banyak belajar hari ini, terutama ketika melihat BAST. Saya nggak tahu kalau misalnya Andri itu ada di Aceh. Saya baru tahu kemarin sebenarnya. Dan hari ini saya melihat bagaimana keadaan di tahun 2004 itu tergambar nyata melalui visual dan juga audio visual yang ditayangkan. Itu seperti membawa saya kayak kembali ke belakang, seperti merasakan seperti apa keadaan pada waktu tsunami. Dan terkait dengan arsip, saya malah tertarik untuk mengkaji kehidupan budaya pasca tsunami seperti apa. Bagaimana orang-orang Aceh berupaya untuk merekonstruksi kembali budaya yang sudah hancur, dan bagaimana pembangunan fisik itu dilakukan kembali, dan itu kita bisa kaji kembali dari arsip yang ada di sini. Semoga saya ada waktu dan tenaga untuk kembali ke sini dan kemudian mulai membaca. Sepertinya menarik untuk melihat bagaimana masjid di sini dari dulu pada masa Iskandar Muda pernah dibakar, kemudian dibangun Baitur Rahim, kemudian ada bencana yang saya tahu bencana besar 2004, ternyata masih kokoh. Lah, arsitektur seperti itu tuh kok bisa masih kokoh padahal bangunan yang lain itu hancur. Itu seperti apa itu yang perlu kita lihat kembali. Termasuk juga tadi ada ground plan, peta yang rusak dan apa yang perlu dibangun kembali, itu juga bisa dijadikan sebagai kajian yang sangat menarik menurut saya.
Oke, terima kasih untuk Daya. Profesor Victor, any words for our office after you visiting? You watch the movie and you know how we do our duty here in keeping the archive, tsunami archive.
About the archive? Yeah. Well, I'm very well impressed with your work, with your organization, with your efficiency, very proficient, very accurate, very modern, and very well focused in your scopes, in your goals. I am very well impressed. Your sympathy, your kindness, it's what we read in the touristic guides about your beautiful smile for each situation. But more than this, yes, it's true, how you are trying to recuperate, to show and to make survive the memory, to do not forget to the young generations, your efforts, your connection, your linkage between the history, the memory, the facts, and really what was happened to the future, to the generations, to know what the grandpas, what the ancestors they suffered with the tsunami, and how you in few years you could rebuild the region, the city, and create a space where you can leave the memory. Leave the memory is the real concept, and you are with the wall of my congratulations about your work, the service, your efficiency to receive, to give the documents, to digitalize, to make all the efforts to spread information and to create knowledge. Terima kasih.
Thank you very much.
You are welcome.
PODBAST, podcast